السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد، أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بشر لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. رب زدني علما. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا. أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم. I welcome you all to the class of دروس اللغة العربية لغير الناطقين بها. And last time, Alhamdulillah, we finished lesson 19 to 22. And inshallah ta'ala, today we'll continue from where we left off and read the key of lesson 19 to 22, inshallah ta'ala. So today, before beginning lesson 23, we will start with reading the key of lesson 19 and lesson 20, 19, 20, 21, 22, because we've decided that we will read the key for every 4 lessons, inshallah ta'ala. So every 4 lessons we'll read the key. So we have 12 more lessons after this, inshallah, totally 34 lessons, inshallah ta'ala. So let's begin lesson number 19. In this lesson, we learned the following. So we learned form 3 in this, bab fa'ala. So we learned what are the forms. We learned form 2 and form 4 in the previous lessons. In lesson 16, we learned form 2. So we are learning 4-letter verbs, or 4 or 5 or 6. So we've done with form 1. What is form 1? Fa, ain, and lam, right? And we learned there are 6 in there, like sami'a, dhahaba, right, kharaja, and all that. This is form 1, right? This is called mujarrad thulathi. Form 1 is called mujarrad thulathi. And then we are now learning mazid fihi, thulathi mazid fihi. So form 2. Form 2, we learned fa'ala. This is called fa'ala, like darrasa. So we'll have 4 letters now. Da, ra, twice ra, and then sin. And then we learned form 4. In the last 17th lesson, we learned form 4. And we learned af'ala. Right? We add a hamza. 4 letters. Hamza, fa, ain, and lam. Like aslama, yuslimu. Correct? So in lesson 19 onwards, we began with form 3. What is form 3? Adding an alif. Fa, alif, and then ain and lam. Like for example, qabala, right? Qabala. Qabala. He met. Qabala, he met. Sa'ada, and all that. So this is called form 3 or bab mufa'ala. There are 2 masdars for this. Mufa'ala and fi'al. Mufa'ala and fi'al. Okay, inshallah, we'll read through this. In this lesson, we learn the following. Bab fa'ala. In this bab, an alif is added after the first radical. Example, qabala. So what are the root letters? Root letters are qaf, ba, and lam. Correct? The alif is additional. Alif is never the root letter, by the way. Qabala, he met. Qabala. So if you're looking into the dictionary, you look for qaf, ba, and lam. Qabala, he met. Shahada, he watched. Again, root letters are sheen, ha, and dal. Sa'ada, he helped. Hawala, he tried. Rasala, he corresponded. Laqa, he met. Laqa, he met. Root letters are lam, qaf, and ya. The mudare, as the verb is made up of 4 letters, the harful mudare takes dhamma. So we learned 4 letters, that is form 2, 3, and 4. What's form 2? Fa'ala. So the mudare, because it has 4 letters, it will take a dhamma. Yufa'ilu. Fa'ala, yufa'ilu. Same thing with form 3. Fa'ala, 4 letters again. Yufa'ilu. We'll give a dhamma. Yufa'ilu. And then form 4 is af'ala. Af'ala, and then it'll be yuf'ilu. Only this happens only in form 2, 3, and 4. Because if you go to form 5, for example, like we'll go into the next lesson, tafa'ala. Right? This is form 5. So these are 5 letters now. How do you know it's 5? Ta, fa, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ain is double, right? Tafa'ala. So the mudare will be with a fatha. Yatafa'alu. Like for example, yatafa'alu. Yatafa'alu. Like ta'allama. Ta'allama, yata'allamu. Correct? Yata'allamu. So this is 4 letters, so it'll happen only in form 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, 2, 3, and 4. This is 2, this is 3, this is 4. So mudari will always have dhamma, dhamma, dhamma. So takes the dhamma. So qabala mudari is yuqabilu. Sa'ada yusa'idu. Hawala yuhawilu. Laqa yulaqi. Laqa yulaqi, to meet, he met. The amr, the harful mudari, as in the case, amr will be what? Will chop, right? Chop this, chop this. There's no need to bring hamza. Qabil, meet. Right? Qabil, meet. So you take tuqabilu, chop this, it'll become qabil. Meet, meet. And the ya is omitted from naqis, so the amr of laqa yulaqi is laqi. So you chop this and chop the weak letter also in naqis. Naqis is the last letter, is weak letter, right? So it'll become laqi, meet. Laqi, amr. And masdar, it has two babs. This bab has 2 masdars. It has 2 masdars. Only this is the only bab. Form 3 is the only bab which has 2 masdars. One is in the pattern of mufa'ala. One is mufa'ala. So sa'ada, musa'adatun. Help. Sa'ada, the masdar is musa'adatun. Then qabala. Qabala, masdar is muqabalatun, meeting. Muqabala. Hawala, the masdar is muhawalatun, trying. Muhawala. In naqis verbs, ya is changed to a. So it will be changed to alif. So laqa, it should have literally been mulaqayatun. And the rule is إذا تحرك حذف العلة وانفتح ما قبله قلبت ألفا. If the weak letter, that is the ya or waw, is converted into has a fatha before it, وانفتح ما قبله قلبت ألفا, it will be changed into alif. So you have a waw or a ya. So this was mulaqayatun. Ya with a fatha, or ya is mutaharrik, and the previous letter is a fatha, so it will change into an alif. Mulaqatun, meeting. Mulaqat, naqis. Or mulaqayatun. You see, the ya has a fatha, and the previous letter also has a fatha, so it will be changed into an alif. And bara is also to contest, match. So mubaratun is to contest, match. The match itself is called football match. Literally, it was mubarayatun. Mubarayatun. The other is on the pattern of fi'alun. The other pattern is called fi'al. So jahada, master is jihad. Nafaqa, nifaq. Correct? Nafaqa, nifaq. So 2 masters for this. In the naqis, the ya is changed to a hamza. And this nada, it was literally nidayun. Nidayun will be changed to a hamza. The rule, sarf rule, nidayun. If the weak letter is at the end, it will generally be changed into a after an alif. Right? The rule is in sarf, after an alif, if the weak letter comes at the end, so you change into a hamza. Nida'un. Nida'un. So if you see the word nida'un, you might think the root letter is nun, dal, and hamza. No. It's nun, dal, and ya. Ya, nada, yunadi, nida'un. Or it could be a waw also. So you should know the correct verb or something. Then you have ismul fa'il. Ismul fa'il is all same as mudari, except that you change the u to a mu. Yurasilu becomes murasilun. Correspondent, to correspond. Shahada yushahidu, mushahidun, viewer. Viewer, mushahid. Yulaqi, mulaqin, one who meets. So it was literally mulaqiyun, you make it manqus. Mulaqin. Nada yunadi, munadin, one who calls. Ismul maf'ul, this is like ismul fa'il, except the second radical has fatha. So yurasilu, this will change into yuraqibu. Correct? This will change into muraqab. So muraqib is the one who observes. Muraqab is one who is observed. One who is observed. Okay. One who is observed. So the ismul maf'ul is same as ismul fa'il, except that this will take a fatha. Fatha. Okay. Mukhatibun. Mukhatibun. Yukhatab. Khataba yukhatibu is to address someone. So mukhatib is the addresser and mukhatab is the addressee. One who addresses and and one who is addressed, mukhatab. And then baraka yubariku is to bless. So mubarak is the blesser. He blesses, the one who blesses, Mubarak. So Mubarak is the blessed one. Blessed one. By the way, some people say Mabruk. Mabruk. Right? For something. That is incorrect. Mabruk should not be said. Why? Barika. Let me just check. Barika is to ride a camel or something. So Mabruk is the Ismul Maf'ul from Barika. The person who's ridden on that. Barakaf. Yeah, Baraka Yabruk is to kneel down. Yeah, it's to kneel down, like to make a camel kneel down. So Al-Jamalul Mabruk, a camel who is knelt down. Correct? So you should not use Mabruk. Huh? This is incorrect grammatically. You should say Mubarak. Mubarak is Ismul Maf'ul. Mubarak, like Eid Mubarak, blessed Eid. Blessed Eid, yeah? Something like Al-Eidu, Manut Nata, Al-Mubarak. Mubarak. If you use Nakira, Eidun Mubarakun. Eidun Mubarakun. A blessed Eid alayka on you. Eid Mubarak. Why? How was it formed? Mubarak. Baraka is the verb, right? Form 3. And you make it Mudare, Yubariku. And you want to make Ismul Fa'il, the doer. Doer. So you take the U and change to a Mu, Mubarak. Like that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of course, who blesses. And the thing being blessed, the person being blessed is called Mubarak. Correct? Mubarak. So Mabruk should not be used. Huh? That's just common Arabic slang, which people use, Mabruk. But the correct is Mubarak. Okay. Nada Yunadi, this has naqis at the end. So you'll make it Munadin. You'll drop the ya and give it tanween. You'll make it manqus. Munadin al-munadi. The one who calls. Munadin is the one who calls. And munadan, al-munada, is the one who is called. Munada. Munada. Like you have harfun nida, ya hamidu. So grammatically you say ya is harfun nida and hamid is called munada. Al-munada. Grammatically speaking, because he is the one who's called al-munada. So why does it take tanween? We say it is the munada. It is ma'rifa bil nida. It became ma'rifa because of ya. I mean, anyways, because of ya, it becomes ya hamidu, ya khalidu and all that. It's ma'rifa anyways, but it dropped the tanween, right? Ya hamidu. Or if it's Abdullahi, right? We learned in book Abdullahi. So mudaf mudaf we'll say ya Abdullahi with a fatha, right? Because it's idafa after ya. So why did this take a fatha? Because of the harfun nida. And hajir, hajar, yuhaju. So the noun of place and time is also the same. It's the same as ismul maf'ul, correct? It's the same as ismul maf'ul. So all the mazid fi is the ismul maf'ul is equal to ismul zarf zaman wa makan, right? Ismul zaman wa makan. It's the same. Noun of place and time is same as ismul maf'ul. That is what? That is mu plus fatha at the second last letter. Mu and fatha at the second last letter. So yuhajir, he migrates. The one who's migrating is small file will be muhajir, correct? And the not the person who's migrated, you can say muhajar, but the noun of place and time is used as muhajar because this is same as ismul maf'ul, the place of migration. Like Madina was the muhajar, the place, muhajar Rasulullah, the place of migration of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this was all about form 3. Very simple, right? Once you get a hang of one what do you say, one of the forms, like if you understand form 2, all the forms follow in the same pattern, right? It's the same. Form 3 is also the same. Next, miscellaneous rules in lesson number 19. We have seen lam of ibtida in lesson 17. Example, labaytuka ajmalu. So we learned about lam of ibtida. What is lam of ibtida? Like you don't want to use inna, you just want to give a slight emphasis, right? So you use lam of ibtida, like hamidun fil bayti. So you can use inna and give inna hamidan fil bayti, but you don't want to do that. You want to use lesser form of emphasis. La hamidun fil bayti. And this lam doesn't do anything. Right? That's why it's called ibtida. You just begin with it. Right? It'll always come in the beginning. Because the lam which will come with inna, this is what we are learning. Now, for this, labbaytuka ajmalu, your house is more beautiful, ajmalu. I want to use inna also. I want to give double emphasis. I want to use inna as well as I want to use lam. So what do? This lam goes to the khabar, skating lam, right? Lamul muzhalaqa. Now, if you want to use inna also in this sentence, the lam has to be pushed to the khabar, right? It has been pushed to the khabar, as two particles of emphasis cannot come together in one place. You cannot use inna labaytuka ajmalu. No. So the sentence become inna baytaka la ajmalu. And this is very common in the Quran. Inna plus lam is used a lot, right? From what I've observed. Surely your house is indeed more beautiful. You see, the meaning is like double emphasis. So this lam of ibtida, this lam is no longer called lam of ibtida. It is now called lamul muzhalaqa, the displaced lam. Right? The lam skated it and came here, right? Displaced. Muzhalaqa. Okay, so inna, like in the Quran, Allah says, and some more examples. Wa inna awhana al-buyuti la baytul ankabut. You see, double emphasis. Wa inna, so inna, and this is ismu inna, this is mudaf, and this is mudaf ilayhi anyways. La baytul ankabut, this is the khabar of inna, and this is mudaf, and this is the second emphasis. So inna, here's the ismu inna, here's the khabar of inna, and then lam is for emphasis. This is mudaf ilayhi anyways. This is linked to this. This is linked to this. Indeed, the frailest of houses, the weakest, awhan. Wahana is to become weak. Like Zakaria alayhi salam says, Wahana al-azmi. My bones became weak. I still didn't get a child. Right? Indeed, the frailest of the houses is the spider's house. Labaytul ankabut. Labayt. So double emphasis. Inna ilahakum la wahidun. Inna ilahakum. Ismu inna. And this is khabar of inna. And mudaf li, and wahid is khabar. Indeed, your God is one. Inna awwala baytin wudi'a linnasi lalladhi bi Bakka. See, lalladhi bi Bakka. Why is this lam? Double emphasis again. Inna awwala baytin wudi'a linnas. The first house which was built for people, right? Indeed, the first sanctuary appointed for mankind. Wudi'a, wada is to put, right? Wudi'a, passive. Lalladhi bi Bakka is the one in Bakka. Bakka is Makkah. Makkah's another name is Bakka. The one which is in Bakka. So lalladhi, why this lam came? Because muzhalaqa. Muzhalaqa. Inna ankara al-aswati la sawtul hamir. Indeed, the harshest of all voices, the voice of the ass, right? That the donkey. Ankara al-aswati, and ismu inna, and then mudafun afli, and this is khabar of inna. La sawtul hamir. Okay, this is all about lam of muzhalaqa. The third, the particle qad is prefixed to the verb both madi and mudara. Next, he is teaching us how to use qad. Why do you want to use qad? And can be used with both past tense as well as present tense. If you want to use qad, you can use both. So when you use with madi, it denotes certainty, right? Certainty. At-ta'kidu. At-ta'kidu. قد دخل المدرس الفصل. The teacher has already entered the class. قد دخل. That means surely entered, because قد has come for madi. قد has come for madi. قد فاتتك دروس. You did miss many lessons. Fata, yafutu is to miss. Durusun. Literally, it is the lessons missed you a lot. But you did miss many lessons. Qad. And also, qad is used for madi qareeb. He didn't give this in this book, I believe. But qad is also used for close past. Like qad qamat is salah. Right? It has just been established. Qama is to stand. But for salah, it means to be established. Qad qamat is salah. So this could also be translated as the teacher has just entered the class. Correct? That means already entered is also fine. But it could also shows close past, and it has just happened. But generally, madi also means for ta'kid. For ta'kid. Okay? Qad. But with muda'ara, it does not mean surely. It does not mean, so qad with madi means like inna, right? Inna. It gives the meaning of inna. But with muda'ara, no. It's opposite of inna. doubt or possibility. الشك والاحتمال. قد يعود المدير غدا, that means headmaster might come, may return tomorrow. قد with مضارع means doubt, right? So it gives the opposite meaning. قد ينزل المطر اليوم, it may rain today, perhaps, like لعل. So قد with مضارع gives the meaning of لعل, because لعل and inna, we know inna and all its sisters we use only with nouns, correct? Inna, anna, lakinna, la'alla, all are used only with nouns. So what do you use with verbs? We use qad. Qad. With madi, it gives inna's meaning. With mudara, it gives the meaning of la'alla. La'alla. And it also mean rarity or paucity. Taqleel. That means sometimes. Sometimes, like same meaning, similar meaning. Here he has a doubt. Yeah, it's like, okay, I don't have a doubt, but it happens sometimes. Like, قَدْ يَنْجَحُ الطَّالِبُ الْكَسْلَانُ. A lazy student sometimes passes the exam, right? So perhaps he may pass, sometimes he may pass. So the meaning is taqleel also. Taqleel is little. قَدْ يَصْدُقُ الْكَذُوبَ. A liar sometimes tells the truth. So a liar, we expect him to tell lies, but he could sometimes tell the truth. This was in the hadith of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, where Shaitan came and told him that before sleeping, read the Ayatul Kursi and it'll be a protection for you. So the Prophet said in similar words, I don't know the exact words, but he's a liar, but he said the truth. He came to steal from the fitra, from the grains for 3 days. Iblis. Okay. And sometimes when it comes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whatever, it could give the same meaning as madi, tahqiq, certainty, right? Or ta'kid, same meaning. Because if you say, okay, qad came for sometimes, then the meaning will totally go away. Like, وَقَدْ تَعْلَمُونَ أَنِّي رَسُولُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ. While you know for sure, ta'lamuna is mudara. So why was qad used? That means sometimes you know, or perhaps you know. No. While you surely know anni rasulullahi ilaykum, that I am the messenger of Allah to you. وَقَدْ تَعْلَمُونَ. When Allah says, قَدْ يَعْلَمُ اللَّهُ الْمُعَوِّقِينَ مِنْكُمْ. Allah knows. Correct? قَدْ يَعْلَمُ اللَّهُ. So with Madi also it has certainty, with Mudare also certainty, but this is rare. Right? This is rare. The majority of the time you'll find with Mudare, it gives, sometimes rarity, paucity, or shak, doubt. Correct? So this is all about usage of qad. Qad. So anytime you see qad, you have to see the following verb. If it is used with Madi, 100% certainty. If it is used with mudare, you have to see according to contextual meaning and all that, right? Does it mean sometimes, or does it mean doubt or possibility, or does it mean surety? Correct? All right. Fourth one, dhu. The plural of dhu is dhavu. He's giving the plural of dhavu, like dhavu al-qurba ahaqqu bi musa'adatik. Dhu is plural dhavu, and he already taught us, I believe, in book 2 also. Relatives deserve your help more. Dhabul qurba is relatives. Here, dhavu is marfu as it is mubtada, and its rafa ending is waw. So it's marfu and the ending is not this waw, this waw. Dhavu, dhu, dhavu. I think this waw, yeah. Dhavi, it becomes dhavi. Yeah, he taught us this, but he didn't teach us the marfu mansub form. So dhavu, when you make it mansub, you make it, and majrur, you make it dhavi. Like Abu, Abi, right? Because this is from the Asma'ul Khamsa. Asma'ul Khamsa. Abun, Akhun, Zu, Famun, Hamun. Correct? So they become marfu bil waw. They become marfu with a waw, mansub with ya, and majrur with ya. So Sa'id Dhavil Ilm, help people of knowledge. So this ya is what? This is alamatu nasbihi. Here Dhabi is mansub. So how do you know it's mansub? What's the sign of being mansub? It is maf'ulun bihi, and mansub is dhavi. And why it is dhavi? We say because li'annahu min al-asma'il khamsa, because it's from the 5 nouns. If you remember lesson number 1, right? Lesson number 1, we learned all these things. Sa'altu an dhawil hajati. I asked about the needy people. So dhabi is also majrur here. Majrur. Why is it majrur? because it's from it has a ya. Sa'altu an dhabil hajati. Okay. This is all about dhu. So dhu, you make it plural, dhavu, and then if you want to change the case, it becomes dhavi, dhavi. Sa'altu an dhabil hajati. Then fifth point, we learn lakinna. It is a sister of inna. We already learned, right? In book 2, lesson 3 itself. It's ismun mansub. Ja'a Bilalun lakinna hamidan lam yaji'. Hamid came, Bilal came, but Hamid did not come. Correct? We learned this in book 2. It's known as a shadda. But we can use a lighter form also. We can just use lakin. We can just use lakin. But it doesn't act that time. Right? It's not an amil that time. It's ghayru amila. In that case, it loses two of its characteristics. Right? One, it does not render the following it mansub. The noun following it mansub. So no longer you'll not make it mansub. Like here, lakinna hamidan is mansub because of lakinna. But if you want to use lakin, which is very common in the Quran, by the way, lakinil ladhina zalamu. Right? Lakin is very used. It's used a lot from what I observed. Ja'al mudarrisu lakin it-tullabu ma ja'u. See? Lakin it-tullabu. Lakin. Don't make it mansub. It doesn't do anything. The teacher came, but the students did not come. The meaning is the same. But here tullab is marfu. In the Quran, Allah says, Lakin al-zalimuna al-yawma fi dalalim mubin. Lakin al-zalimuna. Literally, it was lakin with a sukoon, and then we give it a kasra because it has alif lam after it. Correct? This is just temporary kasra. Adida. And then lakin al-zalimuna. So you didn't make it zalimina. Correct? Why? Because this is lakin, lighter version. Right? Lakinna light. Lakin al-zalimuna al-yawma. But the wrongdoers today, al-yawma is dharf fi dalalim mubin, man'ut nat. Then today in manifest error. Fi dalalim mubinin. Note of zalima, not zalimina. We did not make this zalimina because of lakin. Lakin al-zalimuna al-yawma fi dalalim mubin. And another thing, we can use with the verb also now. Correct? Because lakinna was used only with a noun. All inna and its sisters, we had to use with nouns. We cannot use them with verbs. But lakin is fine because it does not act now. Right? Ghaba aliyun walakin hadaraha ahmadu. Ali was absent. Ghaba yaghibu. Absent, right? Ajwaf. Ghaba yaghibu, like ba'a yabi'u. And walakin hadara yahduru ahmadu. But Ahmad attended or came. Lakin hadara. So lakin is used. So it's fine for you to use it as with a verb. Allah says in the Quran, walakin la yash'urun. But they do not perceive. So you use lakin. I mean, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used lakin with yash'urun. La is not considered, no, by the way, because la and mudara is same as mudara itself. Walakin la yash'urun. But they do not. Sha'ara is to perceive or realize. Correct? So we learned about lakinna. And it has a lighter sister of lakin. So don't make it mansub after that. And also don't make, I mean, use it anywhere you want. Use it with a verb, use it with a noun. It's totally fine. Correct? Lakin la yashurun. Next point is kaful khitab. Number 6 in lesson 19. You can change like dhalika. You can change to dhaliki. And ulaika, ulaiki, ulaikum, ulaikuma, ulaikunna. This is called kaful khitab. Like, and the meaning doesn't change. It's just for grabbing the attention of the address C. Like the ka in ulaika, tilka, dhalika may be replaced with ki, kum, kunna. And it's very common again in the Quran. Dhalikum, dhalikumullahu rabbukum. So why did dhalika become dhalikum? It's just for speaking to a group of people. Dhalikumullah. For example, liman dhalikal baytu ya Bilal. So you're speaking to Bilal. He's a male. So you're saying dhalika. Liman dhalikal bayt. Whose is that house, of Bilal? But you make it plural. Liman dhalikum. See? The meaning doesn't change. That remains that. But you just grab their attention. Right? That's how they use. Liman dhalikumul baytu ya ikhwanu. See? This kum. Why was it changed? Does the meaning change? No. Why was it done? Just to grab their attention. It's just attention grabber. Similarly, and very common in the Quran. Liman dhalikil baytu ya Maryam. See, dhalika become dhaliki. Whenever you see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks to Maryam alayhi salam, kadhalik, كذلك قال ربك. See, كذلك قال ربك هو علي هين. It is very easy for me to give a child to a lady who did not have a husband. It's very easy for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Or Ibrahim alayhi salam, right? Ibrahim alayhi salam, when his wife came and said, قالت عجوز نقيم, I'm an old woman. So قالوا كذلك قال ربك إنه هو الحكيم العليم. Right? Or the verse is similar. Right? In Surah Dhariyat. That means كذلك. It's, I mean, like that. Allah does it like that. It's very easy for him. That's how Allah said, and it's very easy for him to give a child to an old woman also. So the verse فَقْبَلَتْ امْرَأَتُهُ فَسَكَّتْ وَجْهَهَا. She hit her face, right? She hit her face. فَقْبَلَتْ امْرَأَتُهُ فِي سَرَّةٍ فَسَكَّتْ وَجْهَهَا وَقَالَتْ عَجُوزٌ نَقِيمٌ قالوا كذلك قال ربك إنه هو الحكيم العليم قال فما خطبكم أيها المرسلون. Okay, so ذلك is changed. كذلك قال ربك لمن ذلكن البيت يا أخوات. Whose is ذلكن is changed. بيت يا أخوات ذلكن. Okay. Similarly, تلك الساعة جميلة يا حامد. That watch. Similarly, you can use تلكم الساعة. That watch is beautiful. Oh brothers. Oh brothers. Similarly, tilka could change it. Tilki. Tilki الساعة جميلة يا مريم. تلكن الساعة جميلة. Now this is called تصرف كاف الخطاب. That's kaf is called kaf al-khitab. When you're speaking, you can change accordingly, and it is optional. Allah says in the Quran, ذَلِكُمْ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ. See, ذَلِكُمْ. Why is this kum here? Because you can change, right? It is better for you all. That is better for you. أَكُفَّارُكُمْ خَيْرٌ مِّنْ أُولَٰئِكُمْ أَمْ لَكُمْ بَرَاءَةٌ فِي الزُّبُرِ. Allah says in Surah Qamar, are your unbelievers better than those? أَكُفَّارُكُمْ. This is fine. This is anyways kufarukum. Your this thing kufarukum min ulaikum. Here is this is the kaful khitab, not this one, because this is just mudaf ilayhi. This is the this thing ulaikum. Qala kadhaliki. Right? Qala kadhaliki qala rabbuki. Kadhaliki to a female. And wanudu an tilkumul jannah. Tilkum. See, tilka changed to tilkum. It'll be announced to them that this is paradise for you, that is paradise for you. Urithumuha, which you have been inherited. Bima kuntum ta'malun, of what you used to do. Tilkumul jannatu. See, tilkum. It's very common, yeah? So you should not be confused, like, why is it kadhaliki? Why did it change ulaikum? We can use all accordingly. Next, 7th point, the mudari is sometimes used for amr, as in the Quran, tu'minuna billahi wa rasulihi. So you can, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala use the mudari, tu'minuna billahi wa rasulihi. That means aminu billahi wa rasulihi. Right? If Allah promises something before it, and you should believe, that means believe. Right? You believe in Allah and His Messenger, that means believe. This is why yaghfir in the next ayah is majzum. So tu'minu billahi wa rasulihi wa yaghfir lakum. So why is it majzum? Because this is aminu billahi. This is amr. Amr, he gives number 1 also for that. For this is for al-jazmu bit-talab, say lesson 13. If there's a command, or we learn lesson 13, jazm, talab and jawab talab and all that. So see lesson 13, jazmu bit-talab. Okay. Aminu billahi wa rasulihi. So if you have a command or a prohibition or a question, so the response to that will be majzum. If you remember lesson 13, lesson 13. Aminu billahi wa rasulihi, because this is more emphatic. Inshallah, someday when we do balagha, this is more emphatic. Like if you say to your child, do your homework. I mean, it's fine. Right? Do your homework. It's okay. It's okay. But if you say you are doing your homework, correct? That's more stronger, isn't it? That means there's no choice at all. Do your homework. Okay, he may say, I don't want to do it. Right? But if I say you are doing your homework now, that means there's no option at all. One of the masdar, 8th point, one of the masdar patterns is fi'alatun. Example, ada, visiting the sick. The masdar is iyada. This is just patterns of masdar which he keeps giving till the end of the lessons. Because 3-letter masdars, there's no one single pattern. So you just have to memorize. Ada, iyada. Qara'a, qira'atun, reading, visiting the sick. Qara'a is qira'a, reading. Next, mudiyun, lapse, passing is the masdar of mada. Mudi is the passing. Right? The act of passing is mudi. It is on the pattern of fu'ulun. Fu'ulun. So mada should have been muduyun. Muduyun, then the waw is dropped. Waw and ya came together. The waw will change into a ya. The waw has been changed to a, and the dhamma of the dad subsequently changed to a kasra. Muduyun became mudiyun. Correct? So it was actually muduyun on the pattern of fu'ulun. Now, muduyun, this became 2 yas. Muduyun. Because waw and ya are enemies together, right? Muduyun. The waw changed into ya. And then ya should forces the previous letter to have a kasra. It become mudiyun. Mudiyun. This is just sarf morphological changes. The broken plural pattern of fa'alilu is dafatiru fanadiqu is muntahal jumur. Next point, number 10 is muntahal jumur, and singular form has 4 letters. Because if you count the letters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters, right? So if the singular is without the alif, daftar, the plural is dafatir. So why is it called muntahal jumur? That is the plural of plurals. It's the end of plural. You cannot make this word into a plural again, because some words you can have double plural. So you have a plural and then another plural for that. So if the plural of a word is more than 4 letters, is formed on this pattern, on the pattern what? Fa'alilu, only 4 consonants are retained in the plural and the rest are dropped. So only 4 are left, like banamaj is a program, or banamij, program. So if you make, so how many letters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters, correct? So if you make a plural, you'll drop one of them and make it on 4, because we want 1, 2, except the alif, 3, 4. Only 4 are apart from the alif. So you'll drop the noon also. So plural is what? Baramij. Just for easier purpose, because if you make it baranamij again, it's similar to this. So they drop the noon also. Note that the letter noon and alif have been dropped. Banamaj, baramij. Because you deleted. The alif was anyways there here. So this also has an alif. So these 2 were deleted. Because if you bring the alif again, there'll be 2 alifs now. Okay. It's just the word, how it was formed. He's just explaining. Yes, some more examples. Safarjal is a fruit. Quince, safarij. Ankabut, spider. The plural is anakib. Anakib. So you drop 2 letters. Which one are dropped? You can see. You have the ain, you have the ain. You have the noon, you have the noon. You have the kaf, you have the kaf. You have the ba, you have the ba. So we've dropped what? Waw and tha. Correct? We dropped the boots, this oots, we dropped this. And we made the plural taking these 4 letters, anakib. So the andalib, anadil, nightingale. Nightingale, anadil. Andalib is a nightingale. There's a channel also on YouTube called Anadil. Right? He just speaks about Fusha and all that. Anadil. Mustashfan. So Mustashfan, how many letters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 letters. So you want to drop something. So you dropped scene. I mean, you cannot guess and make your own. Huh? Okay, I want to make it on the pattern of, I want to take 4 of them. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Mustashif. No, I cannot make like that. Right? Or Musashif. I cannot do that, because this is just, you have to memorize. It became Mashafin. Right? Hospital. By the way, I know Mustashfan has also used as Mustashfayat, I believe. See, he gave number 3 also for that. Mustashfan also has a sound family plural, Mustashfayat, right? But also the other plural is Mashafin, hospital. And then the plural of Khati'atun is Khataya. Anytime on the pattern of Fa'ilatun, you have this pattern Fa'ala. Fa'aya pattern. Because you see, you use the khaf, you've used the khaf. You use ta. Ya is anyways extra. You've dropped the alif. I mean the hamza. You've dropped the hamza, and the ta is anyways not a root letter. Fa'aya. Hadiyatun hadaya. All these patterns. Fa'ilatun pattern. Hadiya hadaya. Maniyatun manaya. Manaya is death, fate, death. Zaviyatun is an angle. Zavaya. Angles. Zavaya, angles. Okay. Zaviya. So all this 11 points in here, right? 11 points. What were the 11 points? Let us see once again. We learned about form 3, all its forms, all its types. Form 3, Ismul Maf'ul. And we learned about Lam Muzhalaqa, the skating lam, which comes later on. Inna ilahakum la wahidun. And we learned about Qad. Qad, anytime it's used as Madi, it's Ta'kid. But with Mudari, you have to see the meaning, right? Does it change or what? And Zu, we learned Davu and Davi. And then Lakin. Lakin has a lighter form. Lakinna has a lighter form called Lakin. And then this Kaful Khitab, Ulaika, Ulaikum, Ulaiki, you can change accordingly. And all these are just Mudari can be used as Madi. And this all just word formations. How were these words formed? Khataya, plurals and all that. You can't do much here. You just have to memorize this. Because you cannot make your own plurals as we told in book 1. This is just the vocabulary. Inshallah, we'll do one more lesson before we end the class today, inshallah. So how many points in this? Only just 3 points. We can do one more, I guess. In this lesson, we learn the following. We learn form 5 in this, right? Form 5. So what's form 5 again? So we learn form 2, fa'ala. Fa'ala. So you want to make it form 5. So you add a ta to form 2. So form 2 is form 5 plus ta. Form 2 is what? I mean, form 5 is form 2 plus ta. Tafa'ala. So allama. This is form 2, right? How do you know it's form 2? You see a tajdeed. So anytime you see a tajdeed, generally it is form 2. Ashadda. So you want to make form 5. Ta'in ta'allama. Allama is to teach. Ta'allama is to study. He learned. So fa'ala like ta'allama. So what's the root letters here? It's not ta, obviously, because this is form 5. The ta is extra. Ain, lam, and mim. Lam is double, so you'll take only one lam. It became ain, lam, and mim. Ta'allama. Same thing here. Takallama. What's the root letter? Kaf, lam, and mim. Root letters are only kaf, lam, and mim. Takallama. He spoke. Tagadda. He had lunch. Tagadda. He had lunch. Talaqqa. Here the root letters what? Ghain, dal, and ya. Yeah, and lam, qaf, and ya. Talaqqa. He received. Laqa is to meet. Talaqqa is to receive. Form 3 and form 5. The mudare is made up of 5 letters. We learned in form 2, 3, and 4. If you remember, we use dhamma in the mudare, correct? Like af'ala yufailu, fa'ala yufa'ilu, jahada yujahidu, and form 3 is also same thing. Aslama yuslimu and all that. But now, from now on, we'll have fatha in the mudare. So we'll not say you, we'll say ya in active. Yatakallamu. Takallama, yatakallamu. Ya. Talaqqa, to receive. Yatalaqqa, he receives. He receives. Talaqqa. This bab commences with a ta. Now we have 5 letters. Ta, ain, like ta'allama, ain, lam, mim. Ta'allama, 5 letters. So we are done with 4 letter verbs. From 2, 3, and 4. Right? Now we'll count 5 letters. This bab commences with ta, and if the harful mudari' is a ta, 2 tas come together, and this combination is difficult to pronounce. So whenever you have a verb which starts with a ta, so if you make it into mudari', there'll be 2 tas coming. You see how? Like ta'allama, you make it into the mudari' yata'allamu, and then you want to say anta. So anta will be what? Tata'allamu. Because one ta is for anta, the other ta is the form 5 ta, right? Anta tata'allamu. You study, you learn. Anta tata'allamu al-lugha al-arabiyya. So what you do, you can, for easier pace pronunciation, you can drop one ta. And it's very common in the Quran also. That is why it's because two tas are coming. They don't like two tas. So it's an option. Huh? It's not compulsory. That is why one of the tas is omitted in literary writings. Because previously also the Quran was to be written and all that. One of the ta is omitted, right? Because if you keep writing two tas, it'll take a lot of space and all that. Here are two examples from the Quran. Tanazzalul malaikatu. See, tanazzalu. So the verb was what? Tanazzala. Tanazzala, this is Madi. And then you make it mudare, yatanazzalu. Yatanazzalu. Then hiya form is what? Tatanazzalu. Because malaika is feminine. The verb is actually tatanazzalu. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used the short form. Tanazzalul malaika. The two thas. Tanazzalul malaikatu. Warruhu fiha. And the angels and Jibreel come down, descend therein in Laylatul Qadr. So this tanazzalu was actually tatanazzalu. No tanazzalu for tatanazzalu. Wala tajassasu. Similarly in Amr, it was literally wala tatajassasu. Correct? So many tas. Do not spy, because the verb is tajassasa. Yatajassasu. And then hiya will be what? Hiya tatajassasu. Tatajassasani. Yatajassasna. And then anta tatajassasu and all that. So la tajassasu, it was la tatajassasu. So it's two tas. So it was difficult. So you can drop it for takhfif. Takhfif means just easier pronunciation and lighter version of it. Because the lesser the letters, the easier it is to pronounce. The more the letters, the more difficult. So takhfif is easier pronunciation. The amr is formed by omitting the same thing as from all the other forms. You drop the mudar, like takallamu, tatakallamu. You drop the ta and give it majzoom. So takallam, takallam bil lugha al arabiyya. Takallam, speak. Amr is what? Same. Drop the harf and give it. No need for hamza because we can just pronounce it directly. The naqis drops the final alif. For naqis, tatagadda, you make it tagadda. Have lunch, tagadda. You drop weak letter also. Like in form 3, like laqa, yulaqi, yulaqi. So tulaqi, meet. Tulaqi was you meet, right? So you can drop the two as well as this. Laqi. Laqi is just meet. Laqi. Okay. Laqi. Masdars. Tafa'ul is the masdar. There's only one masdar. Form 3 is the only one which has two masdars. Like we just saw, form 3 has two masdars. Only form 3. Mufa'ala. You can remember the word jihad. Jihad and mujahada. These are the two masdars from form 3. Right? Jahada, yujahidu, jihad and mujahada. But this is form 5. Only one masdar. Tafa'ul. Like tabassama. I remembered tabassama, to smile. Right? So masdar is tabassum. Because my father's sister's name is Tabassum. Smile. I don't know why they kept smile. Tabassum. Tabassumu. Okay. So you can remember form 5 is Tabassum. And the Prophet's hadith says, Tabassumuka biwajhi aqiq, smiling in the face of your friend, I mean in front of your friend, is sadaqah. Right. So whenever you meet someone, you have to smile. Tabassumuk. Okay, that's sadaqah for you, inshallah. Tahaddatha, the masdar is tahadduth, speech, speaking. Tadhakkara, he remembered. Tadhakkur, remembering. Tadhakkara, yatadhakkaru. The naqis, you drop the ya. The ya is so talaqa, it'll become talaqqin, because it literally was talaqquyun and the ya was dropped and all those changes. So it becomes talaqqin. You make it manqus. Naqis is always problematic. Huh? The masdar is always weird because the ya runs away. Ismul fa'il and ismul maf'ul, same thing. You take the mudare, change the ya to a mu. There it was you to a mu. Here it is a ya to a mu. Yata'allamu. So you want to say the one who learns, muta'allim, right? Muta'allimun. And we learned when we are learning lesson number 20. Yatazawwaju, to marry. So the married guy is called mutazawwij with a kasra. Ismul maf'ul, yatakallamu, mutakallam. Maf'ul, same thing as ismul fa'il, but you give a fatha to the previous letter, mutakallam. And ismul zaman wa makan is also the same. Like mutawadda, the place of wudu, because the verb is tawadda yatawaddau, and you give a fatha to the second last letter, change its ya to a mu. And mutanaffas is a breathing place. Mutanaffas, tanaffasa is to breathe. So mutanaffas is a breathing place of the city, for example. That like gardens, al-basatin, mutanaffasul Madina. Right? Mutanaffas, breathing place. Okay, and what does this form indicate? Right, so he gives some meanings like we learned in lesson number 18 also on 18. Right, he gives form 2 and form 4. If you remember, like form 2 is shown for intensive action, like you want to use kassara, intensive or extensive. Like kassara is to smash something into pieces, or cut something into pieces, kassara. And form 4 was used to show ta'adiyah. This hamza is called hamza of ta'adiyah. If you go back to lesson 16, 17, or lesson 18 actually, he taught us that this hamza is called hamza of ta'adiyah. Like you want to make an intransitive verb into a transitive verb. Like dhahaba is to go. It doesn't take a maf'ulun bihi. But we can use this form 4 to change it into transitive. Adhaba is to make someone go. Like akhraja. Kharaja is to leave. Akhraja is to kick someone out. Like akhrajallahu iblisa, for example, min al jannati. Similarly, this bab indicates mutawa. What is mutawa? When the object of a verb becomes a subject. Right? When the object of a verb. So you're ascribing the verb to the object. I mean, so this is like a thing. Like glass broke. We want to use. We don't want to say Hamid broke the glass or he broke the glass. We want to say the glass broke. That's it. So that's called mutawa. Mutawa. So you use the maf'ulun bihi, becomes the fa'il. Like zawajani abi Zainaba. So zawajani abi is the fa'il. And this is the maf'ul number 1 and this is maf'ul number 2, correct? Abi, in this also Abu is the fa'il, by the way. But my father married me to Zainab. So zawaja is form 2. But I want to use form 5. Like I got married to Zainab. So tazawwajtu Zainaba. So here, this was was the maf'ulun bihi. I used, this became the fa'il now. Tazawwajtu Zainaba. Tazawwajtu Zainaba. I got married to Zainab. Because the object and my father has no role at all. Here's another example. Allamani Bilalun Sibaha. Bilal taught me swimming. So I want to delete Bilal and say that I learned swimming. So ta'allamtu sibaha. This is called mutawa. Mutawa means you're ascribing the action to the maf'ulun bihi. Ta'allamtu sibaha, I learned swimming. We are not talking about who taught us, who the coach or friend or brother. We're not talking about us. I just learned swimming. Correct? So instead of using passive, remember passive also gives you almost similar meaning, right? I was taught swimming, but it's a little different, right? I learned swimming and I was taught swimming. Correct? I mean, you can understand. Because you can use ulimtu sibaha. I can use that. But I was taught swimming. I don't want to, I just learned swimming. I don't want to go into passive and all that. Okay, that was all about form 5. And we learned a lot in that lesson also. Second point, lamma. Lamma sami'atul adhana. This lamma is dharfu zaman. When I heard the adhan, I went to the mosque. Dhahabtu ila al-masjidi. Here, lamma is dharfu zaman. When? Remember, there are 2 lammas. Correct? There are 2 lammas. One is lamma, I did not yet do something. Like lamma yaji al-mudiru. The principal did not yet come. But this lamma is more common. This lamma means when, and this is mostly used, from what I remember, with verbs. Right? We don't use lamma. No, we don't use with nouns. Right? Lamma is used with when, and this is very common. Falamma ja al-bashir. Right? Falamma ra'a al-qamara bazighan. There's so many times you see this lamma. When stories, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses idh for past tense stories. Allah uses idh. Idh also means when, but idh means remember. Right? إِذْ قَالَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ لِأَبِيهِ. إِذْ قَالَ means remember when Ibrahim said to his father. Lamma is used between the stories. When lamma, this happened, that happened. Okay. The word following it is jawab should be madi. And you have to use a madi before, after that. After it. So two madis should come. The verb following it, that is after lamma, and its jawab. Both should be madi. Both should be madi. So we are not using with nouns. We are not using with mudari. Right? We are using only with madi. Two madis, that too. Two madis, lamma. Okay? Two madis. Like lamma tuwafiyat, ruqayyatu. So tuwfiya is past tense passive. Tawaffa yatawaffa, tuwfiya, majhul. When Ruqayya passed away, madi, majhul. Tazawwaja ukhtaha, he married his sister. Uthman radiallahu anhu, when Ruqayya radiallahu anha passed away, he married Kulthum, right? Ukhtaha, he married a sister. So two madis. So lamma. Falamma ra'a al-qamara. So one madi, ra'a. When he saw the moon, bazighan, this is hal of qamara. We'll learn, inshallah, hal will come in the following lessons. Lesson 28, 29 somewhere. Hal, dhul hal. When he saw the moon, how did he see the moon? Rising. Bazighan. Qala, this is the second madi. Qala hadha rabbi, he said. Hadha rabbi, this is my Lord. Okay, hadha rabbi. Totally, I see lamma used 166 times in the Quran. 166. So very common. Huh? That's a lot. More than 150 times. 166 times. Lamma. And it could be both. Huh? It could be not yet. But not yet is very common. Very uncommon. Not yet in the Quran. From what I remember. It's used like فَلَمَّا يَدْخُلِ الْإِيمَانُ فِي قُلُوبِكُمْ قَالَتِ الْعَرَبُ آمَنَّا. The Bedouin said, we believe. Allah said, no. Iman has not yet entered in your heart, right? Or وَلَمَّا يَأْتِهِ تَعْوِيلُ بَلْ كَذَّبُوا بِمَا لَمْ يُحِيطُوا بِعِلْمِهِ. There, its interpretation has not yet come. So, not yet is very uncommon, but lamma, this lamma is very common. So, two madis. Anytime you see this lamma, search for two madis. Huh? Two madis. The lamma is called lamma al-hiniyya. It should not be confused with not yet, which is called lamma al-jazima. So there are two lammas, lamma hiniya. Hin means time, right? Hina. Hina tusbihun. Hina means when or time. And this jazima is lamma which makes majzoom. So this lamma enters on mudari, correct? And this lamma will enter on madi. This is only madi, this is only mudari. These are the two lammas. Because we learnt a lot about this lamma in book 2. Lamma, this lamma, that lamma, lamma. He did not yet come. He did not yet read. We did not learn about this here with, and this is the most common one. This one, okay. I'm just focusing a lot because when you see a lot in the Quran. Third point, nahnu. We sometimes need specification, right? Nahnu tullaba, we the students. So nahnu, or first person, we use for ikhtisas. This is specific. Nahnu tujara. You make the following word mansub after it. This is called ikhtisas. We the merchants. Nahnu muslimina. We the Muslims. Like we Indians do this and that. This is called we specify. Khusus. Why do we make it mansub? Because there's a verb hidden. Right? Akhussu. We, I mean, I specify the Indians, for example. I specify, I mean, like Nahnul Hunuda. We the Jews, oh sorry, this is Indians. We Indians, natakallamu iddat al-lughat. Yahud is Jews. We Indians speak a lot of languages. Nahnul Muslimina, we Muslims, la nakulu lahma khinzir. So after nahnu, if you see this mansub, so you might be like, there's no inna, there's no word before it. Why is this mansub? Because it's called ikhtisas. I don't know if it's used in the Quran. It's used in ahadith. The Prophet says, "Nahnu ma'ashar al-anbiya," we the group of prophets, we do not inherit, and so on. I don't know if it's ikhtisas is used in the Quran. نحن الطلبة متفوقين. We the successful, outstanding students. حصلنا على الجوائز. We received prizes. نحن ورثة المتوفى. We the heirs of the deceased. نوافق على ذلك. Agree to that. Okay. So with this we've learned. We've done lesson number 20. Read the key for lesson 20 also. Inshallah, we have lesson 21, which is a lot again, and lesson 22. Right? 21 also has a lot of rules. Right? And lesson 22 also has form number 7, has a lot of rules also. No, 22 doesn't have a lot. 21 and 22, inshallah, we'll do it on next class. So we'll take one more class and read the key before we begin our what do you call it? Lesson 23. Inshallah, lesson 23. So we read the key for lesson 19 and 20. We learned a lot of rules. We learned Lakin, Nas, short form, Lamma, Hiniya, Kaf, Kaful Khitab. So we should try to review, inshallah. So once we finish in our next class, lesson 21 and 22, we will start with lesson number 23, which is form number 8. Right? Lesson 23, form 8, and then lesson 24, form 9, lesson 25, form 10, lesson 26 will be 4-letter verbs like tarjama, right? Ruba'i mujarrad. That will be our goal for the next 4 lessons, and then we'll stop again and read the key for the next 4 lessons also. So we have 12 more lessons, inshallah, to finish this Madina book 3, inshallah ta'ala. And they are very long, right? They are long because he brings a lot of rules at the end, inshallah ta'ala. Barakallahu feekum, Jazakallahu Khairan. Inshallah, see you in the next class next week at the same time. Inshallah ta'ala. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Whoever has to catch up the videos, you can watch on the channel, right? Arabic Enthusiasts. You can go the whole Madina Book 3 playlist. We've done almost 70 videos till now. I believe 70, 60. We've gone very thoroughly, alhamdulillah, Book 3. So you can watch Madina Book 3. We've been doing this since 2019. Madina 64 videos till now in Madina Book 3. We've been doing 2020, not 19. The whole Madina batch we started in 2019 and 19, 20, 21, 22. This is the 4th year of Madina Book 3. Right, so we've gone very thoroughly. Alhamdulillah. You can go and watch all the videos of all the classes and inshallah catch up. Inshallah, whoever wants to review and whoever wants to watch, and they'll be available inshallah whenever you want to refer. Right? Jazakallahu Khair. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.